Alright, how you guys doing today? It's Mask here. We're hanging out live on Twitch. We haven't recorded a video live in a while. I gotta say, I always love it. We got a new mini box dropped, courtesy of XOF, I want to call him our Duel Links community data miner. He's always bringing us the news first, that's for sure. Rampage of the Forest. It's a mini box. I guess we knew it was a mini box coming next, but I don't believe it till I see it. Easier on your mom's credit card, if you know what I mean. So we got Rampage of the Forest mini box. I don't really. Obviously we got the metamorphosed insect queen on the front. That's going to be the box cover UR. And aside from that, I mean, let's just go check it out. I've got the cards. Thanks to Wave, one of our viewers here on the stream and also in our Discord, helping me out. I got the cards effects pulled up on my Discord channel so I can actually read them, because of course these are just Imgur pictures of the cards, so it's a little hard to read the full descriptions when they start getting a page and a half long. So we got Metamorphosed Insect Queen. It cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned by a card effect if another insect monster is on the field. Your opponent cannot... must be special summoned by a card effect. If another insect monster is on the field, your opponent cannot target insect monsters you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, period. At the end of the damage step, if this card attacked, you contribute one monster. This card can attack opponent's monster again in a row. Once per turn during the end phase, you can special summon an insect monster token. Sweet. So, it doesn't say you can do the tribute to direct attack. And so essentially, you can only do the secondary attack if your opponent has a monster. That's the only clause there. But it's nice to see Insect Queen actually coming out with a form where it's even worth thinking of playing. I know the Insect Queen that we already have, it's like one of the hardest summons in the... or it's amongst one of the harder summons in the game and completely pointless. Next up, we got Armored Bee. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, half the target's attack until the end phase. So, I mean, it's a 4-star, but it comes out and like applies a mirror wall. It definitely can help be a nice non-tribute filler insect monster. So it looks like we're going to see a lot of insect support in this box, which is cool because we haven't really seen insects make any impact on the game so far. Doom Dozer. A quick look at the card. I was not expecting it to be like an 8-star. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 2 insect-type monsters from your graveyard, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, send the top card of their deck to the graveyard. It's 2,800 attack, 2,600 defense. You know what? That's pretty good. Seriously. So we've got... this is essentially... it's like Gaia Plate, but you're only banishing 2 insects. It doesn't have the cost. It's milling cards off the top of your opponent's deck to the graveyard. That can sometimes backfire. There's a lot of decks that like having cards in the graveyard now. But this, right away, this card alone is going to make an insect deck at least semi-viable. Like, you can have 1 or 2 copies of this guy floating around the deck, and that's it. That's a 2,800 special summon. Just by banishing 2 insects from your graveyard. You could mill insects in your graveyard and just instantly summon this guy. So next up, we got Gigaplant. Gigaplant, this card it's a 2,400 6-star, 1,200 defense. This card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard. While this card is face up on the field, you can normal summon it to be treated as an effect monster, so it's a Gemini, obviously. Once per turn, you can special summon an insect type or plant type monster from your hand or graveyard. We got a zombie version of this. Help me out, chat. What is the zombie version of this card? Gosh, I can't believe I can see the art perfectly in my mind right now. I just can't think of its name. It's really short name. It's really simple too. It's like something that repeats twice. I'm gonna move on, and the chat's gonna catch up to me, and they'll let me know. Ill Blood. This is a plant version of Ill Blood. Thank you, Bulgy Milk. Now we got the Rock Spirit. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned by removing from play 1 Earth monster in your graveyard. Increase the attack of this monster by 300 points during your opponent's battle phase. I mean, it's a rock. It actually, I don't know. It would probably be too clogging to play it in a magnet deck, but in any kind of deck where you're filling your graveyard with Earth monsters, it's a free summon. So sets you up for tributes. Any free summon really just helps you swarm the field, and you can really build the deck around it. That being said, you're also always playing yourself into Wall of D, which has been really, really popular lately. Sylvan Ko-Mushrumo. When this card is every single card in this entire box. Thank you so much, Wave. Honestly, every card in this box, I need to read the effect off of this bot command channel, and it's nuts. When this card is flipped face up, you can choose a number from 1 to 5, and then excavate that many cards from the top of your deck. Send any excavated plant-type monsters to the graveyard. Also place the other cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. If this card is excavated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one spell or trap card on the field and destroy it. I mean, it's kind of awkward. It's kind of awkward to see the value in there, but maybe we're going to see some more plant synergy with an effect like this. We got Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. What? Tribute one insect monster from either field equipped with an equip card. And if you do, either side of the field, I'm assuming. And if you do, special summon an insect monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Hello, Insect Queen. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target an insect monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, then draw one card. It recycles itself. It gives you card draw. It's basically a free use, except for the fact that you do need to tribute an insect monster with an equip card. So you gotta have an equip card equipped to an insect monster. That's the only fallback. So it's a 3-for-1 getting out the Insect Queen. I mean, sorry, a 3-for-1. Because you're going +1 getting the monster out. But then it replaces one more card from the grave. So it's not that bad, actually. Considering you're special summoning the Insect Queen from your deck, running 3 copies of this and 1 Insect Queen, you're starting to see that quick, easy play that is making aliens so popular, getting to get Alien Overlord out so easily. Yeah, cool. Another OP spell to carry an archetype of crappy monsters. Whew. We got Dark Core. Discard a card, then target one face-up monster on the field. Banish it. So we're playing around all counter destructions. Nothing is going to be... I mean, there are very limited amounts of anti-banish in the game. So this is pretty much going to go through no matter what. It's like a Cosmic Cyclone for monsters. The only unfortunate part is the cost of discarding a card is pretty rough. But Dark Core, obviously... Dark Worlds, this is probably not going to be the worst. I mean, they have so much synergy off of getting the discards where you could really see this fit into a Dark Worlds deck, I'm sure. Hey, Trunade! Return all set spell or trap cards in the field to the hand. Whew. I mean, that's setting you up for an... It's in a way, it's almost anti-magic arrows. Like, it's really setting you up to go ham. I mean, I guess it totally is anti-magic arrows. Snipe Hunter play, hopefully Dark Core is legit, yeah. It's a weaker anti-magic arrows because it is unsetting your own side of the field, I guess, you're right. But it will also recycle any continuous spell or traps you have. So if you can take advantage of that, that could actually be pretty nice. Memory loss. For example, Regretful Rebirth. Regretful Rebirth gets to activate a second time if you use Hey Trunade. Like, there are ways that you can take advantage of this to make it significantly better than anti-magic arrows, actually. Oh, sorry. This is why we do this, all right? This is why we read cards together. Angel's Wolf, he's all over it. He's like, yo, Mas, smarten up. Smarten up. Sorry, it says set spell or trap cards, which means your opponent could also totally chain to this too. So it's nowhere near as good as anti-magic arrows for what it's worth. Because it's not chainable. Yeah. So we got memory loss here. When a face-up attack position monster your opponent controls, just activate an effect, except during the damage step. Negate that effect, and if you do, change that monster to face-up defense position. Interesting. Doesn't destroy them, though. All set. Set! They're just grilling me still. Sylvan Hermitry. This looks like a weirdly edited picture straight out of The Legend of Zelda, so I'm all over it. Let me see if I can scroll here and figure it out. Yes, Wave still on top of things. Once per turn, you can excavate. So more excavating. So maybe there is like a a plant excavation synergy that's going to keep pouring out of this box. Once per turn, you can excavate the top card of your deck, and if it is a plant-type monster, send it to the graveyard. And if you do, draw 1 card. Otherwise, place it on the bottom of your deck. If this card is excavated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck and place them on the top of the deck in any order. That's actually wicked. I mean, this is a tough card to get out of the deck, though. You take a look at it. It's 2,700 attack, 1,800 defense, but we're looking at it. It's a 2 tribute. But the second you get it out, if you got a lot of plants in your deck, you're pretty much getting a free extra draw every turn. Who's that Pokemon? Oh my gosh. Alpa Caribou, mystical beast of the forest. Is it a tree? Is it a giraffe? No, it's Alpa Caribou. What the heck? When in attack position, winged beast, insect, and plant-type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. While in defense position, winged beast, insect, and plant-type monsters you control cannot be targeted or be destroyed by card effects. Interesting. I mean, definitely in that boss monster range. When you get them out, you can start really making your monsters. I'm going to tell you now, there's an OTK with Sylvans. All right. I'll be looking for it, Cypher. But I mean, I'm not jumping all over it. I'm not jumping all over it right away. That's for sure. Resonance Insect, 4-star, 1,700. A little weak on the points, but let me see if I can find it here. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 level 5 or higher insect-type monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is banished, you can send 1 insect-type monster from your deck to the graveyard, except Resonant Insect. So, I mean, it's no matter what, when it's leaving the field, something's happening. More often than not, this card's gonna be sent to the graveyard. It's not really a worthy banished target, so it's gonna search out a level 5 or higher insect-type monster to put it into your hand. So you're not going to use it. You're typically not going to get any use out of it with metamorphosed. Metamorphosed. I still feel like I'm saying that wrong because it just sounds too awkward. Like I think it should be like metamorphosized, but that's just me. Metamorphosed Insect Queen, because you want that to be someone from your deck, in my opinion, with probably with a card effect, but we'll see. Sylvan Blade Fender. So we got Sylvans are definitely a card type that has emerged. Plants. We'll have to see how the meta picks them up. When this card is destroyed by an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can excavate the top card of your deck, and if it is a plant-type monster, send it to the graveyard. Otherwise, place it on the bottom of the deck. If this card is excavated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. So we're seeing tons of effects being activated now when sent from the deck to the graveyard. Talk about a little bit of an anti-mill concept. We'll see. Sylvan Flower Knight. When this card is normal summoned, you can excavate the top card of your deck, and if it's a plant-type monster, send it to the graveyard. Otherwise, place it on the bottom of your deck. This card is excavated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect. You can choose 1 Sylvan card from your deck and place it on top of your deck. Also, setting yourself up to mill it out. Again, so I mean, you've probably already done your normal summon. You're probably just going to draw into it next turn, to be honest. But 1,800, 4-star, a respectable monster. It's nothing special. 1,800 sort of swings alongside of a lot of the stuff we got in the current metagame. We got Winged Rhinos. Just see if I can find my cheat sheet for right here. We got during either player's turn when a trap card is activated. So, often. Except during the damage step. We have limited number of damage step traps right now. Mirror Wall being the only one that really pops into my mind. You can return this face-up card from the field to the hand. You can, so it is your choice as well. I mean, you could swing into a Wall of D with this guy, and then whip him back to the hand, chained to the Wall of D, and reduce the effectiveness of it, as well as save him from dying if he's the one testing the Wall of D waters. World Carrot Weight Champion. Can we just take a second to look at this card? I'm sorry, but this is the best card art in this box so far. And name. World Carrot Weight Champion. What? Oh my gosh. Please stay this creative with your card naming in the future, Konami. Do I have it up here? Let me see. Yes, I do. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send one plant-type monster from your hand or face-up from your field to the graveyard, except World Carrot Weight Champion. Special summon this card. You can only use the effect of World Carrot Weight Champion once per turn. From your hand to the graveyard, a special summon. I mean, it's only a 4-star 1900. It's got the Mr. Jerry Beans, man, crutch of 0 defense. But with a card called World Carrot Weight Champion, how do you not love it? Des Mosquito. We see where we got it here. We're running a little bit every single one of these cards. I'm glad I got this ready. Thanks again, Wave, for helping us out, getting these effects easy, ready, and keeping things smooth here. When this card is normal or special summon, place 2 counters on it. It gains 500 attack for each of these counters. If this card were to be destroyed by battle, remove one of these counters instead. So, I mean, it does only get up to 1500 with the 2 counters, so it's swinging a little weak to be useful, but who knows? Like, you never know when you're reading through a box, when you haven't gotten to the end yet, what other kind of synergy you can find. Sylvan Marshall Leaf. All right, coming in a close second for my favorite name of the box so far, Marshall Leaf. It looks like is it a leaf in a marsh, or is it a marshmallow and a leaf? I think I thought marshmallow. Now I'm disappointed. Sylvan Marshall Leaf. I actually, I'm not seeing it here super quick, so I'm gonna look it up. Sylvan Marshall Leaf. When this card is normal summon, you can choose either 1 or 2, then excavate that many cards from the top of your deck, send any excavated plant-type monsters to the graveyard, also place the other cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. If this card is excavated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one monster on the field and destroy it. Now that is pretty wicked. Just by having this card in your deck and getting it excavated, you get to pop a monster on the field. Either 1 or 2. Then activate that many cards from the top of your deck. Send any excavated plant-type monster to the graveyard. Woo! If this card is excavated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target a monster on the field and destroy it. I mean, it makes you weary of doing it when you... It also says you can, so it's a choice. So, I mean, go nuts, right? We got Sylvan Peacekeeper. Peacekeeper. When this card is normal special summon from the top, normal special summon, you can excavate the top cards of your deck, and if it's a plant type monster, send it to the graveyard. Otherwise, place it on the bottom of your deck. If this card is excavated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one level 4 or lower plant type monster in your graveyard and special summon them. You can only use the effect of Sylvan Peacekeeper once per turn. You know, that's not bad either. Like, you're excavating cards, and you're either popping your opponent's field, you're special summoning people on your own field. This deck looks like it can really get things going. And here's just a respectable 4-star 1900 attack, 1500 defense, Insect Knight. I know that this is one of my vanilla 1900s I remember from back in the day. I used to always fill a deck full of them. And up next we got Arrival Rivals. During your battle phase, immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon one monster. You can only activate 1 Arrival Rivals per turn. Can be used on your opponent's turn. It's a quick play spell card, so you can have it set. And yeah, I mean, you can use this card in a way to bypass things like Wall of D. You attack in, let your opponent blow Wall of D, and sorry, yeah, you let your opponent blow Wall of D, and then you can summon afterwards. So you're like, can sort of sneak around some card effects. Your opponent doesn't expect you to have another monster available too. You can catch them off guard. And what do we got next? We got Gravity Lash. Target one face-up monster on the field. It loses attack it loses attack equal to its defense until the end of this turn. Sort of a strange quick play spell card, but I mean, obviously, it could be using the damage step and can turn the tides for you. Next, we got Spike Shield with Chain. Target one face-up monster on the field. Equip this card to that target. It gains 500 attack. If the equipped monster attacks or is attacked while in defense position, it gains defense equal to its attack during damage calculation only. Attacks or is attacked while in defense position. So if it attacks, period, or if it's attacked while in defense position, it gains defense equal to it. Like, the wording here is, I'm tripping up. It's like, how does a monster attack someone while in defense position? I don't know, man. Doesn't seem, it's subpar. It's like a reinforcement that sticks around and sort of just clogs your backfield. Yeah. Sylvan Lotus Wains. This totally meant to, the title should be, it should be the Sylvan Jacks. We all know it. Just check this guy out. This is definitely a lantern disguised as a stick. Once per turn, you can excavate a number of cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards your opponent controls. Send any excavated plant-type monsters to the graveyard. Also place the other cards in the bottom of your deck in any order. If this card is excavated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target up to 5 Sylvan cards in your graveyard, except Lotus Swain, and place them on the bottom of your deck in any order. Damn. Talk about anti-deck out. That's 2/2, and you can choose. You can excavate so many cards from the top of your deck with this guy as well. Your opponent could have up to 7 cards in their control, including a field spell, and this guy could just get things going. And you don't even have to be worried about decking out because he's putting out all the monsters back in for you as well. Sylvan Miko range. Let's see if we can find this one here. Sylvan Miko range. When this card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, and sent to your graveyard, you can excavate the top card of your deck, and if it's a plant-type monster, send it to the graveyard, otherwise place it on the bottom of your deck. If this card is excavated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, all plant-type monsters you currently control gain 300 attack and defense. This is a little bit of, out of all of our Sylvans so far, this one's probably not making the cut. We got Mirror Mail. Every time I see Mirror Wall just comes up, Mirror Force comes up, and you're like, we're expecting good things. You always expect great things from mirrors. When a face-up monster you control is targeted for an attack, its attack becomes equal to that of the attacking monster. You failed us, mirrors. You failed us. Cross Sword Beetle. 4-star, 1800. Let's see here. While you control an insect-type monster, other than this card, if an insect-type monster you control attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. Underwhelming, to say the very least. We have Desert Protector. Now, we've seen this. A lot of the AI decks play this card. You see it all the time. This card gains 300 defense for each spell and trap card in the field. If an insect-type monster you control will be destroyed, you can destroy this card instead. It's a 4-star, 800, 1000 defense. Meh, to say at the very least. Sylvan Snapdrasinagan. Snapdrasinagan. What are they even trying to put together here? Obviously, you have a Snapdragon. Snapdrasinagan. Snapdragon with Asin. Oh, it's an assassin. Okay. I was like, what is going on here, man? It's the Sylvan Snap Assassin Dragon. If this card is sent from the fielder, let me grab this real quick. If this card is sent from the field or the hand of the graveyard, you can excavate the top card of your deck. And if it's a plant-type monster, send it to the graveyard, otherwise place it on the bottom of your deck. If this card is excavated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can excavate the top card of your deck. And if it's a plant-type monster, send it to the graveyard, otherwise place it on the bottom of the deck. That was a mouthful. So basically, this is a remill. Like, if you mill this guy, he gets to mill another guy. And if he's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can start a mill chain. So maybe it sort of has that like Jar of Grief field where like when you pop this guy, it just was probably better if he was someone else anyway. So we'll see. We got YuGiOh. Sylvan YuGiOh. Once per turn, you can choose a number from 1 to 3, then excavate that many cards. Let me just pull the rest of his effect up here. Sylvan I lost track of where you were. Wave. So we got to start all over. Sylvan YuGiOh. Once per turn, you can choose 1 to 3. Excavate that many cards from the top of your deck. Send any excavated plant-type monsters to the graveyard. Place the rest on the bottom of your deck. If this card is excavated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one other plant-type monster in your graveyard and place that target on top of your deck. So, I mean, for it being a 6-star monster that can potentially clog up your hand when you are drawing into him, his excavate effect probably not worth him getting play. Numbing Grub in the Ice Barrier. We got another Ice Barrier card. Numbing Grub in the Ice Barrier. That's interesting. 4-star. It just it hardly fits the archetype as far as what we've seen so far. But I mean, it says Ice Barrier. So when this card is normal summon, select an unused monster card zone. While this card is face up on the field, that selected monster card zone cannot be used. You summon this guy, and you can get a 1 in 3 monster zone shutdown on your opponent's side of the field. That's kind of neat. We're talking, I mean, in a tributeless deck, you get a floodgate down, you get one of these guys down, and shit starts getting pretty complicated. But we'll see. I mean, it's something else Ice Barrier can play around with. I've been really wanting to see Ice Barrier make a comeback, to be honest. It's been a while since we've seen them get a lot of play. Duck Dummy. It's a Gemini. When this card is treated as a normal monster while on the field, while face up on the field or in the graveyard, sorry. While this card is a normal monster on the field, you can normal summon it. You know, insert Gemini description here. You can normal summon it to have this. It becomes an effect monster with this effect. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Neither player can target this card with card effects. The attacks from your opponent's monsters become direct attacks. All opponents' monsters? It's 0 attack, 0 defense. What? Hello, Duck Dummy. I don't know if I ever want to summon you. Okay, next up, we got Demotion. Downgrade the monster equipped with this card by 2 levels. And, is that Dark Ruler Hades? I think that's Dark Ruler Hades. The Rescue Rabbit in the art. We got Rocket Pilder. While the equip, so we're getting a lot of new equip cards. Maybe some of them will make us want to actually try to go for that equip play. While the equip monster is attacking, it cannot be destroyed by battle. At the end of the damage step, if the equip monster attacked, the attack target loses attack equal to the attack of the equip monster until the end phase. At the end of the damage step, if the equip monster attacked, the attack target loses attack equal to the attack of the equip monster until the end phase. Weird. Underwhelming, to say the very least. Spatial Collapse. It's a continuous trap card. You can only activate this card if both you and your opponent each have 5 or less cards on the field. The maximum number of cards that each player can have on the field is 5. Pretty much hardly doing a single thing because it's Duel Links. Full House. Target 2 other face-up spell or trap cards and 3 set spell or trap cards on the field. And destroy them all. 2 other face-up spell or traps. You pretty much have to commit field Sudoku on a full field to make this work. Sylvan Water Slides. We're getting some Sylvan spell or trap support now. Now, Sylvan Water Slide. We are missing each time an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can excavate the top card of your deck. And if it's a plant-type monster, send it to the graveyard, otherwise place it on the bottom of your deck. During your draw phase, instead of conducting your normal draw, excavate the top card of your deck. And if it's a plant-type monster, send it to the graveyard, otherwise draw it. It turns all of your draws into excavations. And every time your opponent declares an attack, you get to perform an excavate. So, I don't know about you guys, but like, is this Sylvan type like an auto 30-card deck or what? Cockroach Knight, 3 stars. When this card has been sent to the graveyard, it is returned to the top of the deck. So we just have another, Maron, another form of anti-mill. This one's in the shape of a monster, though. That's all. Blessings of the Nile. Each time cards are discarded from your hand to the graveyard by the effect of a card controlled by your opponent, increase your life points by 1,000. And it's a continuous spell card. And that brings us to the end of the mini box of the new cards that have been leaked from the mini box. Thanks again to XOF. Yeah, so we're definitely seeing the brand new archetype. Sylvan's coming out. They're going to be pretty sweet. Looking forward to playing around with them. I don't think we don't have an exact release date of this box yet, but it's never long after we get the cards leaked. So definitely going to see it next week. Metamorphosed Insect Queen. So you're going to see insect decks surfacing around Cocoon of Ultra Evolution, trying to abuse how strong Metamorphosed Insect Queen's going to be. And I believe because of the way you could probably chain this out, it's a quick play card, so you could chain it to something. So that means you could totally avoid bottomless trap hole, floodgate trap hole, sorry, with your Metamorphosed Insect Queen. So you're going to be able to get it out on the field almost uncontested. I mean, floodgate trap hole is the biggest way we have to deal with boss monsters in our current meta. Yeah, so you're probably going to have a specific insect deck coming out, built around Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. Obviously, you're going to see Sylvans. We'll have to play test them when they come out, see if they can see how they feel. It's a brand new type of effect, excavating cards to proc monster effects. So we'll see how a 20-card or 30-card deck can handle something like that. The effects aren't that crazy. It's like mill a monster, destroy a monster on the field. I know there's a lot of card draw in there, so it may turn out to be kind of hard to pull off, really, or hard to truly take advantage of. But like I said, we'll have to see. I'll probably start playing around with these before they come out, sort of just imagine like putting together possible decks. And yeah, I mean, mini box. I'm always excited for a mini box. The 200 pack boxes scare the crap out of me. There's just so many cards in there, and truthfully, there's only ever a mini box's worth of useful stuff in a main box too. Like I'm much more of a fan of mini boxes. You can get what you want, what you need out of them way more efficiently. They're more condensed. They tend to have a ratio of useful cards to completely useless cards tends to be way better in a mini box than it is main boxes. So, yeah, stay tuned sometime next week, guys. We got Rampage of the Forest mini box coming out. And, yeah, until then, I mean, join our Discord channel, guys. You can find a link to join in the description down below. Come hang out. We got a great community growing there. We're going to start hosting tournaments out of the Discord again, something I've been wanting to get back into the swing of for quite a long time. Stay tuned for some announcements coming soon about tournaments. And, yeah. Now, guys, I'm going to get out of your hair, and you know the drill. Stay classy.